Every child has the potential to be the greatest, but every potential child has the potential to be the worst as well. Potential goes both ways. And for the past couple of weeks we've been talking, this is very important, we've been talking about a story about the pool of Bethesda, remember? And Bethesda meaning house of mercy, house of grace, house of unmerited favor, house of mercy, house of grace. And how all those people were sitting around the pool of Bethesda, and they were not well. They were in this house of mercy, house of grace, yet they were all sick. And every so often one would get healed. And they thought that was great, that was wonderful, that was a miracle and a blessing of God. And it was. But the reality is most of the people were not healed. They were all just sitting around there. So how could that be in a place of mercy, a house of mercy, a house of grace, a house of unmerited favor? Well, what I want to share with you today is something that you've probably never heard before. Was that yes, Bethesda means house of mercy, house of grace. But as well, that word Bethesda had a dual meaning. Not only did it mean a particular thing, mercy and grace, unmerited favor and all, but it also meant just the opposite. It also meant no mercy, no favor, and disgrace. So when you recognize this place, this pool where these folks were sitting around, a place where they were supposed to be made well, they were not made well. Because Bethesda not only means grace, mercy, unmerited favor, but it also means no mercy, no grace, disgrace, and no favor. And this paints us a picture to have the potential of every human being on this planet. What's in a name? We talk about names all the time, the name of an individual. Well, my name Martin, the Martin is as you research that name, it means warrior. And so warrior can be something great, something positive, holding up the banner of God and fighting for all that is good and right. But a warrior that is perverted, a warrior that walks in darkness, will be fighting his way all into the negative things, being strong and doing exploits in things that are bad and things that are evil. We see that very clearly in the life of the Apostle Paul. His name was Saul, and he was a religious man. And as we know from the end of the story, as we know how the book ends, we recognize that this man began to do great things and became a champion of God, a champion of Jesus, wrote most of what we find in the New Testament today. That's what our religion is built around, is the insight and understanding and knowledge of Paul, the Apostle Paul. But when we look at his early life, we see what he was doing. He was killing Christians. He was persecuting Christians and imprisoning Christians. He was responsible for the murder of Stephen. The young man in the Bible described as a man full of the Holy Spirit. So we recognize then how easy it is to pervert the potential that God has on our lives, that we can go just in the opposite direction. A person that could be totally good can be totally evil. A person that has so much potential to be wealthy and honorable can be poor and or disgraceful, or get his wealth in a dishonorable way. So I'm suggesting today that the impact that a wise parent has on the life of a child, a parent whose ego isn't out there, whose pride isn't out there, whose flesh isn't out there, needing to be honored, needing to be respected simply for the sake of who they believe they are, and recognizing that the humble role of a parent is to make sure that you've prepared this child so much in such a way that when you leave, they'll be okay. And so when you're dealing with your child, when you're arguing or you're debating or you're chastising or scolding your child, it's not for the sake of your flesh because you're mad. You're in a battle for the life of this young person because you won't always be here, and will they be well when you're gone?